Welcome into the PHLY Phillies podcast. Jamie Lynch, Tyler Zulli here in the PHLY studios as a little bit of breaking news comes across the wire. And no, the Phillies did not sign any players down at the winter meetings in Nashville. Shohei Ohtani, not here yet.
Okay.
Juan Soto, not here yet, but maybe.
I'll check back in like 30 seconds.
Yeah. I think we're all going to be doom scrolling.
Feverishly re-scroll through Twitter. Yep.
But me and Tyler are here reacting. The Phillies have extended the contract of manager Rob Thomson an additional year. So he is now here for 2 more years through the 2024 and into the 2025 season, as well as Rob Thompson's extension. They hired 2 assistant hitting coaches, which is the secondary story here. Nobody really cares. Dustin Lind and Rafael Pena sign on to be assistant hitting coaches. This goes with their approach of maybe trying to correct the crap they swung at in the postseason. Yeah. Lind comes from the Giants' big league staff. Pat Burrell now being their hitting coach.
Yeah, maybe. It's still weird to me.
Still very weird. And then Pena comes from the Astros organization. So initial thoughts on Rob Thompson's extension is kind of a dumb move. I think overall we both kind of agree he's earned it. You didn't want him being a lame duck, and now he's here for 2 more years.
I certainly think so. I mean, you could just point to like the writing of the ship last year. The Joe Girardi sinking ship was a disaster. And whatever Rob Thomson did, he pulled all the right strings in 22. 23, I think he had like a little bit of a human step back because I thought he was almost like robotically good in 22. But quite frankly, you and I talked about this a lot during the postseason. The Kimbrel stuff aside, I thought there were a couple of games throughout the postseason run where he did everything correctly, using Hoffman in the right spot, using Alvarado in the right spot.
16 outs from a bullpen one game.
Right. So, like, I think that the Kimbrel stuff aside, which is gross and we don't want to talk about it anymore, I thought he was far more good than he was bad throughout the course of the postseason and in 2023. Again, probably a little bit of a human step back from 22 where everything was clicking.
Yeah.
But this move makes a ton of sense. This team likes him. They respect him. They have a certain brand about them that he allows them to play in and flourish. It would be silly to have him go into, like you said, a lame duck year.
As back-to-back NLCS, one-time winner, one-time loser manager.
If we looked at this and let's say like the Detroit Tigers were back-to-back AL, going to the ALCS and winning the ALCS the year prior. And they'd be like, yeah, they have a coach who's got 1 year left. We'd be like,
why aren't you extending him?
What's the holdup? Let's get this done. So it makes a ton of sense for the Phils.
Yeah, it does make a ton of sense. You never want to see somebody as successful as Rob has been here become a lame duck manager. I think public perception is going to be mildly irritated by it, but I think overwhelmingly most people will go, he's earned it. But just looking at some of the comments early on, people were like, I hate this. And it's just typical internet, miserableness.
What exactly, other than win the World Series, exactly else was he supposed to do?
I don't know. I mean, I would have pinch hit for Rojas there in the bottom of the 7th.
I'm not saying he's perfect. Listen, he's not like unfallible.
No.
But I think that he's been better than he's been bad.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a really good era of Phillies baseball right now, and he's been the manager for 2 NLCS runs and 1 World Series run. So it just makes sense to not have him be a lame duck manager. Those are our initial reactions. Congrats to Rob, here for 2 more years now in total. And hopefully in these next 2 years, because that is the Phillies kind of win now window, they can get one of these titles and get the real ring on the finger.
Listen, it's hard to win championships in any sport.
Yeah.
They're going to be in place to compete once again next year. And, I think that there's a handful of teams, if not more, that you have fans that go, man, I wish I were the Phillies right now.
Yeah. And hopefully the Phillies, now that that's taken care of, Aaron Nola's taken care of, now hopefully they can cook up some of those, player signings that aren't Ohtani level good, but they're good Major League Baseball players.
Yep.
So now it's on Dave Dombrowski and staff. The housekeeping has been taken care of. Now go improve this ball club. We'll have more for you this week with John Foley down in Nashville at the winter meetings. Me, Renee, and Tyler back in studio here. It's going to be a busy week in baseball, and we appreciate all of you checking out the PHLY Phillies podcast. We'll be back soon.